Alright, so game 2, and I'm versing Carl. How you going, man? So he's playing Space Puppies. So we've got, what's this called again?
Storm Wolf.
Storm Wolf. A bunch of Grey Hunters. Sorry, Grey Hunters are in there.
Yeah.
What are they? Cavalry.
Thunderwolves.
Thunderwolves. He's got the old Grey Knight allies. So they had an option of using new or old. And this is how I've deployed. A little bit awkward deployment, but this is where I'm huddling all my half times. Alright, so versing Kyle again, and last time we saw him, it was in the doubles match with Kevin, and he was the Tau player with the Demon's friend, I don't know, partner. Getting into the game, and he's got a really cool list. So it's got a little bit of like a Death Star type thing with wolves, courtiers sitting back and casting like prescience or invisibility or whatever he wants on his long fangs with lots of las cannons. A Grey Knight which can jump forward, which is cool, and 2 planes. So the Space Wolf planes are actually really cool. They're hard to kill, and they do a lot of damage. So I got to be paying attention to that, I think. I was talking to Carl about after the game about some of the things I think he could do different. I don't know if it's better or not. We'd have to play the game, but he shunted up with his Grey Knight Knight thing. I always forget, Dread Knight, whatever it's called, into the middle. Which meant I could just charge him turn 1 with my Knight and kill it. That's pretty much what happened. Whereas if he shunted up to, see the crater down here next to the Bastion, if he did it there, my Knight wouldn't be able to get down to there, and then I would actually have a bit harder time deciding what I was going to do with my Hive Tyrants, because I'd either have to deal with that, because that Knight can actually kill a Bastion very, very, very easily. And once the, what's it called, the Void Shield is down, it just flames inside and kills the Venanthrope very, very easily again. So I think that was one of the little mistakes there. Also, when you're versing 4 Hive Tyrants, and I'm giving tips of the trade type thing out, but when you're versing 4 Hive Tyrants or anything like, you know, flying demons and things like that, you kind of want to spread out as much as possible to give me options of where I have to go and deal with, because I really want to, you can see I've got 2 Hive Tyrants next to each other, always kind of backing each other up, because 1 Hive Tyrant by himself won't be able to do everything he wants to. 2 possibly can, especially if you've got some good spells. So if you're all split up, I then have to send 1 to 2 Hive Tyrants against 1 unit, rather than, you can see here, I'm putting him like in the middle of like 3 or 4 units, casting Psychic Screech or doing, you know, shots one way or the other. I can try and pin, so I actually pinned his Warlord unit for 2 turns with the Horror. So, you know what I mean, like there's lots of little things that you can do to negate what your opponent's doing if they're all clumped up. Whereas if they're, you know, we're discussing if he put his Longfang packs right in the corner of his deployment zone, and then turn 1, say, move and do some snapshot as my Hive Tyrants or whatever, just move and run onto the objective in the top corner, and then, you know, Dread Knight goes to the crater, big Wolf Lord squad goes right in the middle, and the little Wolf Lord squads stick down the bottom right hand corner. His army is now completely spread apart, yet his army is still fast enough to support, and a lot of his points is taken up in the flyers, which can go on either side of the table depending on which way I go. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So the rest of the game, he's having a lot of lucks. I managed to kill one of his Frostwolf things, because he has to actually, he stopped to drop off a unit, and that means he was hovering. I was on the ground already. I go in, I flame a template. Actually, I rolled a 1 on the Haywire Flamer. But I did some shots, got another hull point down, ran in combat, killed it. My Warlord, of course, then died next. But I'm in combat now. Am I in combat? No, I'm still shooting. So all 3 Hive Tyrants kill Longfang and Courtiers. His Wolf Lords pack split up. Unfortunately, I had a Ripper slightly out in line of sight. If I had pushed the Ripper in just a little bit more, he wouldn't have been able to make the charge because he couldn't have seen the model. So there was actually a few things I could do to improve my game for this game, as well as actually the whole tournament. Just little movement things, and just when to drop down a turn before. Most of the choices were right. There was just some I was thinking about, like after the turn, I was thinking I probably could have dropped there and been safe, and not, because dropping down on the ground just gives you more options if you're safe. If you're safe, dropping on the ground is always better than being up in the air, because you've got the option of jumping and assault, jumping, shoot, assault, or then taking off again and doing the same thing anyway. And repositioning yourself, for the 9 degrees thing. Anyway, Morlock comes up and denies that thing in the corner there. And I go for the Warlord thing, but I don't actually get the kill. But I do get the win, but not a huge win because of the mission.